Into episode 7, the next of our effects videos. And the effect that we're talking about in this video is EQ, or equalization. Now, equalization is about changing the mix of frequencies within a sound. All sounds have a whole range of different frequencies in them. And the reason that one person sounds different from another is that effectively the frequencies in one person's voice are different from another. So it's like everybody has different EQ. Now, we can adjust the mix of frequencies in a sound to make it sound different and hopefully to make it sound better. Now, an analogy that I often use for this is like an ice cream sundae. There are lots of different ways to make an ice cream sundae. You might have 50% ice cream and 50% chocolate sauce. That might be how you want your ice cream sundae to be. You might have 50% ice cream, 30% chocolate sauce, and what's left over, 20% flake, or 10% flake and 10% sprinkle, something like that. It's still an ice cream sundae, all right? You haven't changed fundamentally what it is. You're not using a different sound, but you're changing the mix of ingredients, if you like, or frequencies within that sound to make it sound different. And what we're going to do is, or what I'm going to do, is I'm going to add EQ, equalization, to our descant track, because I think I've said on previous videos, it's just sticking out a little bit more than I would like. And I'm actually going to use, rather than turning it down, I'm going to use EQ to reduce certain frequencies within that sound and make it sound different. Now, that's the EQ that I'm going to put on in this video. But as I said in the previous video about compression, please do experiment with some other stuff. This is like sort of bare minimum approach, and I'm going to write it up and I'm going to give a good understanding of what EQ is. But please do try out some other EQs. So we were in the audio effects panel previously. I'm just going to shut the other ones down. And if you click on audio effects, you will have EQ and filters is the fourth thing down. So I'm going to pull that down. And you want to be in channel EQ. There are three options: auto filter, channel EQ, and EQ3. We're going to use channel EQ. Now, I've done my my prep on this video, as I always do. I've done my research, and I've decided what I'm going to do. This upper middle preset, because again, as I've said previously, Ableton's suite of plugins is not great. It's way smaller than GarageBand's and Logic's, way smaller. So we've actually only got this many different presets, but we can play with them quite nicely and move them around. So this upper middle one is going to do the job that I want. Now, upper middle, what I'm expecting it to do from that name is I'm expecting it to boost the upper frequencies and boost the middle frequencies of the sound. So it's not going to touch the bass end. It's just going to touch the mid frequencies, which is roughly around where my voice is as it happens, and the higher frequencies, so up with higher pitched sounds. And I've gone with that one because it's the upper sounds that I want to manipulate. Because to me, this is quite present because it's a little bit pingy. It's quite sharp. It's quite piercing, and I want to turn that down a little bit. So I'm going to take upper middle and I'm going to drive it over to the first of the disto lead tracks, right? And what that does is it makes an EQ curve appear on the effects filter down here. Now, you can adjust all kinds of things. So I'm gonna put it on solo because actually we've got two of them, and I'll come back to that in just a moment. And you can see it's panned hard left as well, so it's just coming out my left hand side at the moment, which isn't ideal. But if I adjust any of these parameters, yeah, we get a very different sound. It's still the same fundamental sound, but it's quite different. So I don't want to actually do that. I was just giving a demonstration that would make it sound very flat indeed. So let me take that out. You don't need to do this. Okay, I'm going to put it in again. And I'm also going to put it on the other track of disto lead. So I've got two tracks here, and they've both got upper middle on them. I can put them both on solo by pressing Command. So now I will not have it coming out of one side. I've got it coming out of both. Listen to this. It's quite in your face, isn't it? It's quite piercing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the high off. I'm going to go to -8 dB, -8 decibels. And do exactly the same thing on the second track. Okay, and that to me is going to work better. Not much of a difference, but an important difference. Love that drum track now. Much fuller. So I don't actually change the volume on the disto tracks at all, but it's not piercing, it's not sticking out as much as it was. Much more balanced. I'm much happier with that. Okay, so I'm going to take a screenshot. Now, it could well be that you want to adjust some effects, some EQ on other tracks, and I would recommend that you do. I can't give you all the answers in these videos. That would not be fair. Okay, so screenshot in. What will this be? Screenshot 17. This is me working on EQ. Let's say or equalization. Equalization. This is where you change the mix of frequencies in the sound to alter how the sound sounds, to alter how the sound sounds. You can use this to remove qualities like warmth. I should put add or remove. You can use this to add, remove qualities like warmth or brightness. I have added a, what was it called? What was the name of the preset? Can't remember. An upper middle EQ. To my synth descant part, and then I have my synth descant part, and then I have turned down the upper frequencies to make it sound less piercing. This helps it to blend into the mix much better. I'm just going to add a little extra paragraph, which we'll come back to more when we do the second assignment, which is the instruction manual for Ableton. You can also add special effects with EQ, like making things sound like they come from telephones and similar. Okay, just an extra little line. Right, so there's EQ. And I'm quite happy with the way our mix is sounding. Oh, forgotten something. We'll go back. I had to add the preset. No, I had to add the EQ to both of the tracks that I had duplicated when I was doing the stereo field. I made sure to put the same settings on both. There we go. It's a nice little write up there. There we go. So that's EQ. Do go further with this one. Do apply some different, try out some different things. You've got lots of different things to try. Adjust things. If you don't like something, all you literally have to do is right click and delete. That's it. And that will just take the EQ off, so you don't need to worry about it messing it up or anything. It's very easy to sort things out. But do add some do add some EQ to different things and see how you get on. I will see you for the next episode. What will that be? That'll be episode 8, and that will be talking about reverb, which is an effect you have to be careful with, is all I'm going to say. Very easy to mess things up with reverb. After that, we've only got one more episode to do, which will be a very quick episode, really, but making sure about the final balance and tidying everything up. And we are done for this first assignment. And this is the major assignment. The second one takes a lot less time because for a start, you actually know how to use Ableton by that point. So you're able to do your second assignment much more easily. I'll see you in the next episode.